Team. My name is Tiffany Scurry. I'm Senior Vice President and Chief Compliance Officer at Western Digital. And it's a pleasure to be here today for your sessions. So in this section, you're going to imagine that you are an employee now of the company and you encounter an executive who asks you why sustainable development is important and how that is linked to the team's topic. You have 90 seconds in which to convince this executive why this needs to be addressed. One member of the team will do this, and whenever you're ready, you can get started, and then I will start the timer.
Perfect, thank you. Imagine flying from LA to London in 2025 on a 10-hour overnight flight, and you are vegan. The flight attendant presents you with two food options, a meat or a vegetarian dish. You don't eat meat, and the next option is vegetarian. You're thinking to yourself, am I going to break my diet and go with the vegetarian option, or am I going to starve? As you continue to smell the food from other passengers receiving their meals, it dawns on you that you didn't have a chance to eat prior to boarding your flight. You have 6 hours to go, and you are very hungry. And because of the limited food supply on the flight, you are stuck. COVID-19 made health and well-being at the forefront of the mind of many consumers. With so much choice, veganism has become even more accessible and appealing, helping to increase the appetite for plant-based even further. In 2021, the vegan food market was worth over $16 billion. The vegan market is expected to reach 22 billion by 2025. At LSG, we are industry leaders because of our strong sustainability efforts. We need to solve the lack of food diversity in the supply chain as the longevity of our business is at stake. How does LSG solve this, you might ask? It all comes back to our mission. We enable people around the world to enjoy a moment of pleasure in the skies. We do this by shifting to business practices to incorporating more plant-based options to our menus, providing consumers with food they want and options to choose, but also lower the GHG emissions tied to meats. In doing this action, you and other passengers will have no problem on your flight from LA to London in 2025, enjoying a vegan meal, because there is enough food supply so that no one, including you, goes hungry on a flight ever again. Thank you.
All right, very good. So congratulations. I think you're done now, right? So go ahead and take a deep breath. All the hard work that you put into this now is, you know, you can go ahead and relax. So we'll just use the next few minutes. I can offer some feedback on my observations on today's sessions, and then I'm happy to take any questions that you might have as well. On the 90-second presentation, very strong. I like the technique that you used to open, you know, imagine this scenario, and you described a scenario that everybody could imagine themselves being in, even if you're not vegan. I'm not vegan, and I felt sort of like distressed when you were describing that situation. So I thought that was a great technique, and you delivered it with excellence. You also focused on the opportunity to the business. You talked about the size of the vegan market, which made me, as a business person in my role, my ears perk up. Like, there's this huge unserved or underserved market. That would be a great reason to do this. And you talked about how the longevity of our business is at stake. So you gave a lot of business reasons, not just the moral and ethical ones, but business reasons to address the ethical issues. And I think that's a really effective way in a business setting to try and influence and get your way at the end of the day, right? So very, very well done. I really enjoyed listening to your presentation and learning about this issue. And I just have to say, the whole thing was really well done. So with that said, if the team has any questions, I'd be happy to discuss or give any more feedback. How has your experience been so far in this competition?
It's been great. Personally, I love the difference in presentations. Instead of just doing, the normal 25-minute PowerPoint presentation that, we're used to. It was really cool to kind of challenge ourselves in that way of, having those different scenarios and the different parameters around the presentations that we did, whether it's a 90-second elevator pitch. I really appreciated the roles and the kind of scenarios that went along with it, instead of just saying, hey, do a 90-second pitch, saying, you are going to be coming from the side of being an employee and that sort of thing. I thought that was really interesting, and that was something that I hadn't really experienced before. So I really enjoyed that part of it for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I like that part of the competition, that they set up these role-based scenarios for you, because they're very realistic. I mean, if you're sitting in a boardroom, it's going to be one thing. If you're bumping into an executive in the elevator and you've got your 90-second chance to try and influence that person, that's a whole other kind of presentation or way to try and make your point. So, and all three scenarios that the competition lays out, they're all very realistic, and they're all things that will happen in your career on a daily basis. So it's a great opportunity to experience those different kind of constraints and figure out how to operate within them. And I'm sorry, I think I cut you off, Heidi.
No, it's okay. I think for me, what I really appreciated was the feedback after, and like how between yesterday and today, and I, talking with my team, just trying to really hone in on the issue at hand. I think that definitely allowed us to, challenge our thinking, but also propel us in presenting today. So I definitely like the quick turnaround. And I really do appreciate the feedback, because it's very genuine and it's honest, and it's something that we can move forward as in our careers.
Okay, any other questions? All right. Well, thank you so much for participating in the event. I really enjoy the opportunity every year to experience this and see all of the hard work that you put into this. I have to tell you, it's very inspiring to see what all of you can bring to the table and do. So thank you so much for putting everything into it. With that said, if the team has any questions,